Frankie B, repping the Pep Talk Boys. Now remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Pep Talk UK. So, it's fight week, no doubt about it. And the beef has been marinated many years ago since the infamous sparring session between James Degale and Chris Eubank Jr. Finally, years on, they can batter each other in the ring if they want to. Someone can choose to box the other person's head off and finally settle their differences at the O2 Arena in Greenwich on a PBC show. Large up Al Heyman for stepping in to get this beef worldly and truly settled between the two. So many people are asking the question about James Degale. Has he still got it? Let's face it, the man has done bits in his career. Former Olympic champion, former two-time world champion. I mean, the man has done it in his career. Certified G at super middleweight. We have to salute the accomplishments of James Degale, and I think, you know, he probably would have been a bigger superstar in the UK had he fought more on the UK shores. But, you know, he built himself as the road warrior, you know, defending his title abroad, picking up his world titles abroad as well. And no doubt about it, he's a really slick, flashy operator, a man that has, you know, what I like, you know, the true fundamental boxing skills, head movement, combinations, you know, fantastic footwork. And the only thing that people can question about James Degale is the heart still there, is the desire still there to, you know, really carry on in his career. You look at his first fight against Truax in the Copper Box. I mean, I was there, and that, you know, that didn't look like James Degale to me. You know, that looked like a man who maybe had maybe he was in a situation where, you know, all the training camps, you know, all the big fights that he's had might have taken its toll. And on that night in a Copper Box, it didn't end, you know, very well on his homecoming. But, you know what they say, you know, form is temporary, class is permanent. And that's one thing, James Degale, you know, you cannot question the man's, you know, boxing ability. You know, it is there. You know, one thing I picked up from the Truex fight is, you know, you need to be well-oiled, well-conditioned. If you do have any elements of wear and tear, you know, you might get a fighter who's looking to literally march you down for the whole of the fight, really apply pressure, and that could be the question mark that really affects James Degale against Chris Eubank Jr., who, let's face it, is a man with a superb engine. I mean, you know, have you seen him on the bag? Ridiculous, mate. I mean, those combinations that he puts in the bag, I mean, that's one thing you can't question, his heart. You can't question his stamina. You know, his will to win is always there. And I see maybe similar tactics being employed by Chris Eubank Jr. So James Degale is going to have to have his wits about him and make sure he takes no time off in between rounds. I mean, you know, some people may say that, you know, because he knows that he's got that ability, sometimes, you know, he might take some time off between rounds and really think, hold on a minute, you know, I'm winning. You know, I'm up by 4 or 5 rounds, you know, I can relax for 2-3 rounds. Well, against Chris Eubank Jr., I think it's going to be hammer and tongs for 12 rounds. I mean, now that he's under the, you know, the stewardship of Nate Diaz, he's got a coach now to help him implement a game plan. Now, Chris Eubank Jr., we focus on the man himself, is really, you know, a man with some question marks as well. No doubt about it, the heart, the desire. He is almost there at world level, but maybe it was just the coach that was missing to help him to kind of employ the right tactics to beat fighters, you know, of the highest order. And that's the question mark that Chris Eubanks, you know, carry on his head. I mean, can he, you know, do what his father did, Chris Eubank Sr., and become a world champion. Well, for the first time with him employing a coach, it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, what he does. I mean, I felt against George Groves, I felt, you know, he didn't jab enough. I felt like he didn't close the range enough, and maybe that was the, you know, the wake-up call to say, you know what, I need to have a game plan next time out when you're dealing with these elite fighters. And you can say what you want about James Degale, whether he's got more left in the tank or not. You know, I mean, he is a man with all the experience, and you know, Chris Eubank Jr. is going to have to employ a game plan. But I see this fight being it's a good fight. I mean, some people have criticised the fight, but you know, when you've got genuine dislike and distaste amongst the fighters, usually turns out to be a barnstormer. I mean, look at the Dillian White and Chisora 1 and 2 fights. I mean, fantastic fights, you know. Froch against Groves. I mean, these fights are pretty dramatical, and even the fight that James Degale had with Baddy Jack, it wasn't a grudge match, but I mean, the two wanted to win so badly, and I feel like it's going to be the same this time around. So we look forward to a barnstormer where James Degale will turn it on one more time, where Chris Eubank Jr. will be looking to bring it on a PBC card, screened by ITV Sport. Now, let us know what you think of the fight. I think it should be a cracking one, and we will do a post-fight reaction to this fight. Now, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Pep Talk UK. Pro Beast